Hello everybody, this is Carol from Friendly Quail. I'm here to do a flip through for you today. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, I hope you'll subscribe. This is just a flip through of an herb journal. Now, I did an herb journal collaboration with Dawn Orahood or Scrapbook Sage. And she had beautiful digitals, and my other herb journal used her digitals and turned out beautiful. This one, I tried to make it like a really old book from the Middle Ages. And so I have like a faux leather cover. This is real leather, tying it shut. And I tried to make everything look really old on it. This totally comes off. So this is the book, and let's get started. I'll flip through it. The very first, when you open it up, we have some old paper from a 1901 book that I used as an end paper, and then I have the title, Herb Wife Apothecary, established Anno Domini, or the year of our Lord, 1709. But I do have an amulet bag in here to wear to ward off evil. You know, they were pretty superstitious back then. So this is a hand-beaded amulet bag, and I'm hoping you can see it, the beads and the hanging down beads. And I just thought it would be kind of fun to put that in. It will just go in this little bag right here. I'll put it back in later. Now each section, each signature is done with 3 pages, which means it's 12 pages. But 2 of the pages have printing on. So I looked up real herbal remedies from the past and probably now, but these are made for like what people used to do a long time ago. So this is like a table of contents, and each section, like we have aches and pains, baby and children, I'll be going through that. And each section has a tab for the beginning of the section. The beginning and in the middle, this is one signature. I did a 5-hole pamphlet stitch for each section is sewed in by itself, so I could do the hidden spine, and the book could be pretty open. It's still kind of fat, so you know, it doesn't lay completely flat. Aches and pains, we have the sections for aches of the head. I won't read every one of these, but like one thing you could do is use a willow bark tea infusion for head or body aches. Infusion of skullcap flowers and leaves along with some lemon balm. Take a spoonful up to 4 times a day. So we've got lots of different infusions and things you could make. And for joint pains, and this one will also work for gout, it said. So I tried to keep everything kind of plain. So this is Tim Holtz paper that I made a pocket and a tag with. This is some eco-dyed paper. I had some thicker eco-dyed. It was like watercolor paper that's almost like tag. That's what this is in the beginning of the book and the end, and you'll see tags made with it. And then I tried to use some pictures and make some things like they were collected specimens under glass. Only did a couple of them. Alright, so then we get the next section is baby and children's complaints, and we have things like colic, sleeplessness, threadworms, because, you know, just like kittens, babies used to get that all the time, and for teething. Here we have a belly band, and this is some of the heavier card eco-dyed paper. You can really see the impression of the flower on this one. Okay, and a tag, and it just goes in this belly band right here. Next section is bladder disorders. For painful urination, blood, mucus, or pus in urine, grittiness in passing urine, probably that would be stones, dribbling or difficulty passing urine in men, and then they have the different herbal remedies for that. A couple more pages. We have the pocket of an old napkin, and this is some of that eco-dyed card tag that you can write on. This one has a lot of indentations that didn't really color, but they left the indents from parts of plants. And then this is another tag. Okay, next section is breathing problems, things like coughs, what you can do for coughing. Also discharge from nose along with headache, that would be like sinus, and spasms in lungs, like I suppose asthma would be. I did put these little, some of the little images, they're all black and white from an herb book. And here is a pocket with coffee dyed fabric, some paper, and a tag. I tried to use a lot of doilies and things like that in it. Disorders of the old. Excessive thirst and passing of urine along with weight loss. That basically is diabetes. It gives you some cures. Urgent or frequent passing of urine or bedwetting. Forgetfulness. Wouldn't it be nice if you had dementia and you could get rid of it with an infusion of purple sage and rosemary used as a tonic? Okay, maybe in the early stages. This is Tim Holtz card. Over the page you'll see the other side, and we have the image of the coffee or eco-dyed paper. And on this side we have like a little pocket. This is some eco-dyed, you can see the leaf imprint, and there's some eco-dyed paper that's a thinner paper. It has a little bit more color in it, but being I was trying to keep everything very neutral, I didn't mind that. A lot of this was very neutral. More coffee dyed paper. Here's heart and blood disorders. Things like headaches, eye problems, dizziness or fainting, tiredness, dizzy or fainting spells, and heart palpitations. Cold hands and feet or chilblains. Eye disorders, trouble walking, breathlessness along with pale fingernails. Basically, I think that was anemia, if I remember reading that. And what you could do for that. This is a pocket with some of the eco-dyed card paper, a little just eco-dyed paper. These are a couple. These are the only other ones I did, but I tried to make it look like it was an actual flower and it's under glass. Heartsease was in here a lot, and that's what I called Johnny Jump Up in my garden in Wisconsin. So I made those, and then I made like a little packet tied up with a piece of string, and I used the same faux leather, and it's really tea from a tea bag, but I put on here powdered linden bark because that was one of the things in the cures in that section. Here we have just a side pocket with a piece of eco-dyed paper. Alright, next section is nervous disorders, things like crying, headache, and sleeplessness. Intense feelings of fear and doom along with heart palpitations. Feelings of sadness, unable to concentrate, constipation. This sounds like depression. Infusion of wild lettuce leaves, basil leaves, and lemon balm. Or eat fresh basil leaves. And if you can't fall asleep, what you can do. Alright, this one has a tag. And this is, I have a little paper clip here. And this opens up so you can write secrets in it. and then close it back up again. And the paper clip holds it shut, and it becomes a tuck for a tag. Next section is pregnancy and childbirth. They have things for morning sickness, preparing for the birth, what tonics and things you could use, like raspberry leaves infusion, basically tea with leaves from your raspberry bushes. Tears, if you tore when you were giving birth. And things with breastfeeding is also in here. All right, here we have, I found a picture, kind of a drawing of the baby in utero, and this one is another eco-dyed. You can see the imprint of the plant on there, and just made a little bottom tuck and a little tag there too. Okay, this section is pus, scales, and fungus. Things with infection, skin disorders, things like athlete's foot would be the fungus. We have tender or painful inflamed area of skin with pus and boils. Skin has red inflamed scaly patches that itch and ooze and may bleed. Inflamed pustules on face or back. These are basically pimples. One of the things is to use a cut piece of clove of garlic and a tincture of cabbage leaves and rich hazel bark. This is an astringent, so that helps for pimples. Ringworm, sores between toes, that would be like athlete's foot. And warts. Did you know you could apply sap from dandelion stems and it'll cure your warts? Okay, if only we could do that. This I made an envelope with a tag, and that becomes like part one of the pages. Okay, stomach disorders, unable to move bowels or loose bowels, and piles, which are hemorrhoids. That one of the things is make ointment containing tincture of pilewort leaves and roots. I wonder if that's why they called it piles. Stomach pain or bloat, feelings of anger and stagnation, nausea and vomiting. Okay, women's disorders. These are things like, this basically is PMS, anger, depression, bloating, swelling, and tenderness of breast before monthly courses. Abdominal pain during courses, so cramps, heavy bleeding. What you can do. This is milky discharge and itching. I think that would be like a yeast infection because it's to wash woman's inner parts. And itching and dryness with marital action. And what you can do with infusions to drink and a lotion. This is another over the page tuck and eco-dyed paper, and I just stuck a leaf in there. And we have another card with the impression of the flower on. Okay, this is the notes and cautions. Like I made a list of do not give the following herbs to women who are with child, and listed all of the things. There are quite a few that they warn you not to use if you're pregnant, and what you can do, what you should avoid during breastfeeding. This is a coffee dyed piece of lace with a card. Made it into a little side pocket. This is a belly band, and I took some of that same faux leather and I just kind of made like a little envelope that you could tie shut, and inside I have something that looks sort of like a proclamation or something from the past, so I just put it in there. Maybe that would be where you keep your important stuff. I'll tie that up later. And I think I only have one more thing. Yeah, here's a side tuck with a little card in it. It has a picture of, or a drawing of soapwort, which is what they use to wash their garments. And then it's also on Eco-Dyed. You can see the imprint of the plant. And that's the end. Here's that last page of the Eco-Dyed card. And that's the end of the book. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the flip through. It's very different from anything I've ever done before. And so it's just kind of fun. And I hope you enjoyed it and come back and see me again in the next video. This is Carol from Friendly Quail saying bye.